From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
Hi, y'all are. Cajun Rob here hanging out with you. Fresh off the lake. I'm still trying to thaw out.
That's all right. It's not too bad here. It's only 28. So
that's about what it is here.
Okay. Of course, you're not supposed to have the weather you're having, but I'm glad you have it, not me.
Well, we're getting snow tonight, snow tomorrow, so I'll send it back to you. I don't want
it. I don't either.
Okay.
We have a skim of ice on the pool, which you could probably spit on and break through, but
yeah,
that's about it. All right, well, we'll get into the show. Our guest tonight is Brian Carter. He's the founder and driving force behind the Basscast. If you're not familiar with the Basscast, it's a platform dedicated to bass fishing. Website serves as a go-to source for tournament results, fishing news, community engagement within the bass fishing world. It offers features such as Basscast radios, forums discussions, also has a newsletter. And Carter's efforts have helped make the Basscast a significant resource of anglers for different circuits. And how about we bring Brian on and let him go?
Let's do it.
All right, sounds good.
Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon,
What's up, buddy?
sir.
Guys, thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it. I don't get to be a guest. Well, I've done about 4 of these this year, but it's great not having to worry about anything, but just be able to sit here and chill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's different, ain't it? It's kind of weird.
Yes,
I've had the same experience. It's like just don't feel right. You think you should be pushing buttons or doing something, and it's like I don't have to do anything.
I don't have to do nothing. I just had to plug the microphone in. That's all I had to do.
Exactly.
I just want to let everybody know beforehand. We wanted to get Brian on and so bad that we're doing the recording. This is not a live show. This is a recorded podcast. So I want to let you know that. So if you don't see us asking questions or see the audience asking questions, that's why. It's not because nobody's paying attention. So, all right, Brian, if you don't mind, can you give us a version of how you got started into fishing, bass fishing, and then into the media game?
Yeah. Hey, before I get started on that, like you just said, it's not live. I was sitting there talking to Danielle. It's like all of us do a Wednesday night show. I mean, it must be. It's Ike has a Wednesday. We got a Wednesday. It's a bunch of other people have Wednesday. So Wednesday's a very busy night. So guys, I really appreciate you taking the time and making a special night for me to come on. So thank you guys for that. The basscast.com. Holy cow. 15 years ago, back in 2008, 2009, the Elite Series came to Smith Mountain Lake. Kevin Van Dam won it one year. Skeet Reese won it on the big old swim bait. Yep. And that was my first big dip into this thing. I worked with a coworker who loved tournament bass fishing. And I don't grew up watching TNT. That's how old I am. But
yep, me too.
TNT.
Yep.
Watching TNT, Bassmaster, and all the elders of our league, which are now we all saw that history that Bass did this past year, which was really freaking cool. So I got to grow up watching that, and then I said, why not create a platform for anglers where they can go in and I can showcase, highlight, and use the skills that I have to promote other anglers. I don't want a promotion for myself. I don't do this for me. I do it for you. I created like I said, a platform, podcast show, newsletter, like you were talking about. And that's the 3 parts of the basscast.com. But none of this ever came about quickly. I mean, for you guys who don't know, bass fishing is a small knit family. And we took baby steps and we built the website first. And I built the podcast show second. And I do the podcast show with Thomas Ahrens from Fishing the DMV, Bass Geek. If you guys don't know Bass Geek, they're the main 2. I ain't gonna lie. I'm the host. I make sure everybody stays in line, and we get the guests on and have a great show. So they are the main people behind that. And this year, I I love newsletters. I really, really do. Newsletters were coming out during COVID. They were a big thing, especially podcasts as well. I listened to a show the other day. I think it was like 30,000 podcasts were created during COVID.
Yep.
I mean, because everybody had a podcast. We had nothing to do. So we all created a podcast. Mine was long before COVID, which helped keep me moving during COVID because we couldn't fish. So we just all talked about it, and, it was fresh content. So it was great to already have that diversification. But yeah, this year we came out the newsletter. We've got about 1,700 subscribers, but I'll tell you, the subscribers don't mean anything. You need open rate, and we got if you ask me, one of the best open rates out there. So want to thank everybody for being a part of our newsletter. On the Line is our newsletter. Basscast Radio is our podcast show, and the basscast.com is the website. And I'm not doing anything else. That's it. That's enough.
Yep. I was about to say, you're working overtime.
I work a full-time job. I come home and work on the website for about 2 or 3 hours a night.
Wow.
And then record every Wednesday.
Now, the bigger question, how do you keep Hank on topic? I've known Hank for quite a while.
You have to reel him in. That was, it's funny over the weekend, Hank will get in a little rants.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets worked up.
But you have to all right, come on, Hank, come on. We ain't got but an hour.
Yep.
So that's what I started doing this year. I gave him an hour. I said we have an hour to talk to our guest. Yep. And that's it. So if you wasted Hank, that's it. Other people want a question. So got a question. So it's like, yeah. But Hank's great though. I mean,
oh yeah, he is. He's good people.
He's great. Hank's got an awesome YouTube channel. I mean, like I said, Bass Geek. If you guys aren't following, please make sure you follow. And then, like I said, this year, Thomas Aarons with Fishing the DMV, Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia has got an amazing show as well. And, he talks to a lot of biologists and a lot of local people, and where we talk to people from all over the globe. I mean, like you said earlier, John, we're a tournament bass fishing website.
Yes.
And that's what we highlight, and that's what we concentrate on. And we want to bring you highlights, tips. We got Bruce Callis as one of our writers, been writing for over a decade now. And then the rest of it's tournament results and the events that we go and cover ourselves on top of what others, send us. Because I don't want to brag, we're blessed. There you go. We were blessed to be a part of a lot of different organizations that recognize that we are a platform to help get them the notoriety and, let people know about their tournament trail. I mean, and I understand some people don't want more than 20 boats. Some people want 50 to 100 boats, and we're here to help you get to 50 to 100. And that's why I built the Basscast.
Okay. Now, what was the biggest challenge you think that you had with starting out, and how did you overcome it?
Woo! Yeah, we can talk about that real quick. I rebuilt the Basscast 5 times, guys. It crashed. Wow. You want to talk about some overcoming right there? Holy cow. GoDaddy crashed on me. I had 3 or 4 other browsers crash on me, and I kept rebuilding the website over and over. I'm a big people person, so that part was easy. Meeting new tournament directors, meeting anglers, hanging out with people, and getting that bond and camaraderie around the fishing tournament series itself. So, that was probably one of my biggest, is just technology. And we were at the, like I said, you go back 08, 09, we're not where we are now, but we were nowhere close to what we are now. So, I mean, we were all making new stuff and building new things and making new things to get to where we are today. So, and today, I mean, heck, here it is, what Gary says. I mean, the website can be run right here. I don't need my computer anymore. I mean, a phone.
Yeah.
So a lot's changed.
It has. Rob and I just hit our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome.
It don't seem like it.
Yeah. And
congratulations. That is so cool.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a struggle,
I'll tell you this. And at the beginning of this, my job. It was probably, other than the computer side. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm still working a full-time job.
Yep.
And that probably was my biggest struggle at the time. I was working a rotating shift job. I was burning all my vacation to go to bass fishing tournaments.
Yep.
I mean, that was what it kind of consisted of. And I, about 6 years ago, went all Monday through Friday daylight. And since then, it's been just wide open. I mean, the consistency is the thing, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yep.
If you stop,
Exactly.
it's over.
Yeah.
Like, what have you done for me lately? Kind of. Yeah.
That's it.
I get it. Yep.
Yep.
All right. I mean, you had a lot of success. What was your or what kind of audience do you cater to? Do you target beginner, season, tournament, pros?
I'll say we really target beginner tournament anglers, and I kind of consider them not your weekend angler.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, I don't want to say not your weekend angler, but your angler that's not just going to go fun fish. I'm the angler that's looking to become an up and up angler. Their goal is to go that next step. And whether that's, through social media. I spoke to a high school this year about social media and, how to build your social media, because that's such a big thing now in bass fishing. Diversity. There you go. Diversification is huge now. We've all seen that in this past year was major huge. But, help up and coming anglers move on to that next step of, fishing the Elite Series or even just fishing the opens, or because you guys all know now it's a huge investment. We're talking $3,000 to $5,000 to fish the opens, the Tackle Warehouse. Was it Bass Pro Invitationals? I mean, the money's got to be there, but you got to have the following to be there as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I used to fish the opens in the Toyota Series.
Oh, awesome!
And the couple years ago, I dropped back to the BFL, and strictly, because of the amount of time being away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my wife and I had a discussion this year, and next year I'm gonna go back to fishing just the Toyotas because we could do a week's vacation out of it.
Oh yeah.
And possibly get my money back. Whereas if I'm doing a BFL, driving to the Potomac from upstate New York, one day back the next, you got one night of hotel and all that gas mileage. And if I win the tournament, I might break even.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah. You go back and listen to I think last week's episode of Bass Cash Radio. And we talk about that a lot now because the payouts in the BFLs have gotten, I don't want to say bad, but they've gotten really bad. And, we brought up that about where so many anglers are having to travel that want to fish that series. It's just uneconomical now. I mean, you might as well gamble on the next, like you were saying, the Toyota Series or another higher series to have an opportunity. Even if you finish in the top 10, you're still gonna have a better paycheck.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Toyotas, you get 2 days of fish, and
true.
I think Toyota's got your best bang for the buck, bar none.
Yeah, I do too.
Agreed.
But it's all fun. It's fishing, Plus, if you go down there for, like my family and I talked, we're gonna do a week of it. So,
well, that's cool.
Couple days will be a family thing. Couple days free fish. Couple days of tournament. Hopefully 3, but if it's only 2, it's 2. But
well, let's hope it's 3, right, John?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Be positive.
Yeah, let's be positive there.
I am. And what do you think are the most common mistakes that beginning anglers make, and what do you think they can do to avoid them?
They beg.
Yeah.
That's a broad question right there.
It is.
We did a show on pro staff, and that's a huge caboodle, if you ask me, caboodle, whatever you want to say. But anglers these days, like I was saying, really do need to diversify themselves. They need to diversify through social media. I'm not saying you got to have a YouTube channel. I'm not saying you got to go crazy. You just need to be diversified. And, you know, the young kids these days are, and we had Trey McKinney on, we've had a lot of young kids on. It's a job for them now.
Oh yeah.
You know, where we went to work, and you know, if you went back and looked at the Rick Cluns, and you went back and looked at the history of Bassmaster, they all worked Monday through Friday and fished a tournament Saturday, Sunday, and or Monday through Thursday, and fished a tournament on the weekend. And where the kids now are, they're blessed. There you go. Period. Are spending hours on the water. I mean, if the lake's not frozen, they're on it.
Oh yeah.
So things have changed so much now for tournament bass fishing. And I hate to say it, that's why, so many of the older anglers have left. They just can't spend that time on the water. And then, I don't want to get into FFS, but with that implementing and, I've talked to so many anglers around here with us, and they're like, guys, the FFS costs more than my boat does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not worth the investment for us for a small paycheck that we're going to fish, because we're really a weekend angler. Yeah. And that's what a lot of them are. And, they don't want to go to the next step, the next level. They just want to have fun. But when they're getting the snot beat out of them by a bunch of kids who are staring at the screens all day, they finally pick something else to do. And unfortunately, it sucks, because I know a lot of great anglers who have left.
Yes. And it does suck. I mean, Rob and I are both co-anglers. That's why it's called Co-Anglers Corner. And we're not going to get into that discussion as far as FFS and co-anglers. So, but you know where that is.
Yes. So. I will drop my 2 cents on that point right there.
Go ahead.
With the implementation this year, you guys saw a lot of, especially even here locally in our own tournament series, a lot of individual tournament events are popping up all over. ABA, I think they did one this year. They did their trail. Yep. I know the the CAT, which is our big series down here, Carolina Anglers Team Tournament Trail, they all did theirs. And, it sucks, but it's kind of wondering in the next couple of years, will it be, just an individual on a boat? Because I read something last week where people are harder and harder to find co-anglers for the like you said, the BFLs. Yeah. And I'm hearing even rumors of boaters just saying, here, I'll pay for your entry. You just come along so I can qualify to go win money.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
just sit in the back of the boat and watch me fish. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
It's like being a marshal.
Marshal, yep, there you go. Because you pay to be a marshal too. So, I mean, hell.
Yeah. We saw that last year on Facebook. I mean, there were guys saying, hey, I'll link with you for a Toyota if you pay my entry fee.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, because they didn't want to lose their points. I mean, they didn't. They lost. They dropped out on points when they made championship. Yep. So,
because I mean, I'll be honest. Like you're saying, the Toyota Series and the BFLs, the points is the only reason why you fish them. Yeah. I mean, you ain't gonna win no money, no real money, especially in the BFLs. You're looking at the points to go fish. What is that? Is it the All American?
Yep, All American. Yep.
So you're looking to qualify to go fish the All American, and that's the biggest thing that the BFL is, right? I think that is the biggest thing.
Yes.
The biggest event that the BFLs has. So I mean, and that's what everybody's shooting for.
Yeah, it's crazy how one piece of equipment can determine the whole aspect of your business.
It's true.
But
if you don't have it, you don't cash checks now. Hate to say it.
Yeah, pretty much. You're out of the game.
You are. I mean, but all sports are like that. I mean, I understand these guys are complaining as much as they do, but all sports are like this. I mean, I grew up photographing, playing sports. And, I played tennis. I mean, I grew up playing tennis. The first racket was wooden.
Yep.
The second one was Andre Agassi's graphite.
Yep.
I mean, the third one now, I haven't played in, it's probably been about since my kid's been born, but I mean, it weighs like ounces. So, I mean, it's just like that. But and what happens to get that edge? The price goes up. It gets better. It gets lighter. And I used to be a cyclist. I rode 25 miles a day, and bikes just got lighter and lighter and lighter. Where you pick up a whole entire bicycle now, one finger, wheels and everything. So I mean, it's everything. It's not just bass.
It is. You're right. I was in the Army back in 1991 with a guy. His name was Al Vega, and he was a tournament cyclist.
Ooh.
And his bike, he would ride it to work, ride it home, pick it up with 2 fingers. I'm like, man, my bike back home, just the tire and rim weighs that much.
And they were about $2,000 to $3,000. So I mean, but you pay to play. I mean, if you're in a cycling event where they're slim, skinny, and a bike's light, and you're fighting through the wind and whatever else. We ain't go dive into that. But I mean, like I said, it's all sports come up to a certain level as they go through a duration from beginning to the original fish finder plotter that you took and you ripped it off and you took it in your room and you read it all night to where we are now. I mean, where you can watch TV as you're fishing. I mean, hell.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And you can answer it when your wife calls.
Yep.
Or hit ignore.
Or ignore.
Oh, sorry, honey, got a fish on.
Yeah, that wouldn't be wise.
No. But, since we're talking to you, one of the things I'd like to know is how do you approach creating content?
Gosh. Guys, I'm not going to lie. You listen to YouTube. All you have to do, and I tell my writers that too. They're like, how do I come up with stories? Just listen.
Yeah.
Listen to what is going on in the world of bass fishing. The boys will let you know what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, whether you want to listen to Slick Johnson or you want to listen to the other guys. I mean, there's so many out there that are talking about fishing and what's happening in the world of bass fishing. And man, they'll create their own content just around themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
And this year wasn't as bad. Last year was what we saw, it was kind of bad. The stuff that went down last year with Keith Poche, and we had gosh, I gotta think about some of this now. We had, a few little incidents happen this year, but I mean, just listen. That's all you gotta do. You can come up as long as you can write a paragraph or a couple paragraphs and run it through a spell checker, you're good to go. It doesn't have to be crazy. I mean, V talks about it's more about getting it out there than, making sure the content's good and getting it out there faster than to overthink it. And, you might get made fun of, but I mean, heck, they'll read it. I mean, they'll listen to Slick Johnson all day, even though they hate him. So, I mean.
Randy Blockett's the same thing.
Randy Blockett's the same way. So, I mean, you get thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers these guys have. And, it's somebody's listening. They might complain, but they listen.
And it's funny. I look at it like this. If you don't like the person, don't watch it.
Yeah.
But they'll watch it. Watch it to complain, though.
Yeah.
There's some of that group out there.
Guys, when I started this thing, I told you guys I was learning bass fishing. I picked up everything I could read, and I was at a tournament, and it's been a long time. Cause my kid might have been like 7, and we pull up. I got up to the truck, and we were getting in it, and a guy my kid heard this guy said, "Dad, that dude said you're a freaking idiot," and I mean it's. But that's it. I mean, and now if you post something and go back and read the comments 20 years later, me posting stuff now, knowing what I know now, wow, just all I got to do is talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
I tell you, you guys can buy an $80,000 bass boat in seconds.
Yep.
But putting the rest of it together, holy crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is. it's the whole thing is incredible nowadays, and you've hit on this. Social media is a big part of not just professional fishing, but any tournament fisherman. You know, do you think that's good or bad for the sport?
As long as you don't air your dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll be honest. I think it's good for the sport. I think it's good because now with the implementation of YouTube and social media, the young anglers have come along so much further than they have. It was funny. I saw a meme the other day, and it was like, my grandpa used to be my FFS. And, now I got a computer that tells me, because grandpa used to take me fishing. But now these kids now are staring at screens and watching YouTube. I got two here watching YouTube. They don't even know what TV looks like. It's YouTube.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're a whole new generation of kids. But it's on top of the part about you having a social media presence. I was watching a video last year of a gentleman, and he was trying to get sponsored, and he couldn't get sponsored because the guys who were doing sponsors said, hey, if you ain't got X amount of numbers of followers, now this is about 5 years ago. Yeah, 5, because now that's all changed. We don't care about followers anymore. We care about engagement.
Yeah.
But, that was the big thing then. If you don't have 10 or 15, 20,000 followers, we don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because when the internet first started and social media first started, we all looked at the numbers. We all looked at I got to like a newsletter. I'll tell you, I have 1,600 subscribers. That's it. But I have a 35% open rate. The average is 20 open rate. I'm sitting at 35.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's what you're really looking for, is the engagement. Will people buy the product when I throw it up on the internet? And I'll tell you one thing, my boy Geek, he can sell underwear. I mean, the dude sells freaking product. He is great at it. I've become an ambassador somehow. I get stuff sent to me all the time. But yeah, it's, now it's being diversified, because if people find you for a podcast show like you guys found me on LinkedIn and any other show, it's now the way we all reach out to each other. Nobody's got a phone number no more. I mean, what's a phone number? I mean, I go on Facebook and go to Messenger and message you, or I go to Instagram and message you.
Yep.
And say, hey, you want to be on the show? I mean, I don't know anybody's phone number. I know my fiance's. That's probably about it. My parents. I couldn't tell you nobody else's phone number.
Not anymore.
A phone number is just a quick email address.
Yep.
Yes,
pretty much.
Yes. But yeah, social media is it. You have to run it how you would want others to view you.
Oh yeah.
There it is. It's a, as the Bible talks about living your life towards your actions based on how you want others to perceive or see you. Social media is the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I talk to high schoolers, sometimes I say, watch what you put on social media. If you don't want your mom and dad or your family to see it, don't do it.
Yep.
Because it's out there. And even if you delete it, it's still out there. You've posted it. Somebody's took a screenshot. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with employment.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, I was going to say that because, back about, I don't know how much they do it now, but probably about 5 or 10 years ago, employers were going and looking at your Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
And say, I don't want this here. If they're willing to post this garbage on social media, what are they willing to do when my eyes are closed in my business?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but it's true. I mean,
it is.
Yeah. Where I work, we still do. I work for a small business, and she'll say, okay, John, I'll look at Facebook, you look at a couple of others, and let's see what you think about this person.
Yeah.
And if we're like, no, that gal won't be a good fit, we'll just decline without even an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lucky here. I've been self-employed all my life pretty much, but I can pretty much tell people within the first 5 minutes we're a good fit. Really can. You can feel that comfortable just like dating, you feel that comfortable relaxation conversation part. But yeah, you really do have to look at social media now to see if they're a good fit, because there's so much garbage being posted.
Absolutely. I know one guy.
Even if it's not garbage, do they line up with your morals and your values?
Yep.
Absolutely.
The brand, because people understand. I'm gonna get a high horse here. People understand that once they hire you, they think they're just getting a job. They're actually representing you.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
When they leave that 9 to 5, however they act, to be like, oh yeah, I saw you at John's store, and this is how you act outside of John's store. So I mean, they say to you as a whole there, and they're like, wow, I don't know if I want to go in John's store anymore if you act like this out here.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a 360.
Absolutely. I know a guy in North Carolina. He was QC he was safety guy for some company. Went on vacation and like filmed a little short and trashed his boss for like 30 minutes. Got back to work, had his pink slip. He was done.
Don't blame them.
Yep.
I do not blame them whatsoever.
Yep. I don't either. It's
so
amazing.
Be careful out there, kids. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't think the kids care. The new kids don't.
No.
Yeah.
They really don't. Sad but true. Mommy and daddy's still taking care of them, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
At 18, I was asked to move out, and I wasn't even a bad kid. So I mean, I think that needs to happen to a lot of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because stuff they repost from TikTok and whatnot, it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's a tough question for you. What motivates you to keep doing the all that you do with the podcast, the newsletter, and website?
I ain't gonna lie, guys. I have a time, and it's getting real close. There's about 2 months out of the year that I'm just like ready to like go deep sea fishing or just leave altogether, but I still carry my laptop. I don't know. I just, I listen to a lot of podcasts myself. I'm a big fan of Matthew McConaughey, and I listen to some of his stuff. And, he's got a saying, don't half-ass it.
Yep.
And that's when I signed up for this thing, I said, I'm going all in. And guys, if anybody wants to know, I didn't have any money. I was in the middle of a divorce. I was paying for lawyers. I put flyers on trucks and parking lots. I stopped at every ramp going to the ramp that I was going to, put flyers on every truck in the parking lot. And I to build the website to where it is today. But probably the main thing that kind of keeps me this is just seeing the short hops, the numbers grow. And we do rely on that. It's kind of it's a dopamine. And that's why they said it, they're trying to get kids off social media. It's a dopamine. I mean, it's, someone's made a comment on my post or someone's made this, but even on a business side of it, we're all looking, I gained an extra 50 followers. I gained an extra 100 followers. I introduced someone to bass fishing. And I'm known as the Basscast guy. No one knows my name. But I mean, and that's pretty cool. Hey, aren't you the Basscast guy? And just talking to someone for about 30 minutes, 15 minutes about fishing, tournament fishing. What are you going to fish this year? When will I see you? That right there really kind of keeps me going. And like I tell people, expos are right around the corner, everybody.
Yeah.
And an expo is a dopamine for different people. And it's dopamine for the anglers, because a lot of these anglers, you guys don't know, I've had a few anglers sleep here at the house, and most of them all slept in their truck. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, just being around their fans and their people and the people that buy the product, subscribe, is a dopamine for them. And, it's a dopamine for me too, because I get to go see everybody. I get a few pats on the back, and I don't know how to say that, because, it's like, you're doing a great job, and it kind of says, okay, I'm pumped and I'm ready to go for next year. But we all need that downtime.
Oh, yeah.
And it's coming really soon. We're almost to December. And I take about a month off. I mean, I don't really take a month off, but I'll take a month off out of the Lime life and the life, and then we get right back into it.
The cycle starts over.
Yes, the cycle starts over, and I got more shows this year. So I mean, I got an extra show I'm going to this year, on top of maybe going to Texas. So I mean, to the Bassmaster Classic, because I've only missed the one in Texas, the last time they were in Texas, in the last few years. So I've been on a pretty good roll.
Yeah, that expo they got's unreal. That expo, I'm like you. I missed the last one. But that's the only one I've missed probably the last 7 or 8 years. So it's unreal.
Yeah, if you want to go to an expo, that is it. I mean, you are not gonna. They do a heck of a job on the expo. I mean, and just what goes on. And you get this. The cool thing about the classic, new boat releases, new product releases, and you get a chance to meet anglers you're never going to have the opportunity to meet. I mean, the last couple of years, they've been in Tennessee, Knox Vegas, we call it. They've been in South Carolina. So, I mean, and Georgia, I don't want to say that. I'm probably going back to Red Crest this year, and it's back in Georgia. I don't like going to Georgia, but that's beside the point. But, I mean, you get to explore new places. And that's the cool thing about if I never make a dollar off this nonprofit, I have been able to go and explore new locations and new places and meet people and be a part of organizations I never thought I'd ever be a part of. And that's probably the biggest high that I take away from all of it, is just the people and getting to meet, getting to hang out with Kevin Van Dam, go out to eat like his normal person, do stuff like that other people dream about, that I get to do. So, I mean, it's a blessing.
Absolutely.
Yes. Rob, you have anything you want to ask?
Yeah, talking about the expos, I started kind of working booths for my various sponsors, and it was like just a rush. Wanted to do it more and more and more, go to more shows. So
yeah.
But it kind of a short story. It's worked I worked for one of the biggest wholesalers in the industry, Pittman Creek, and it just kind of worked out. And that's just, I work fishing every day, this is like my retirement gig. This is the last thing I want to do till I go across the goal line. That's all I don't say all I do, but people ask me, so it's funny you bring that up, and you working in that with Pittman Creek. I don't watch any fishing shows. I don't listen to any fishing podcasts. I mean, I'm in it enough. I mean, I'm so involved in it 24/7 that when I want to detox or go away from it, I go, like I said, I told you, I love deep sea fishing. So we'll go do that, pure fishing, and get different type of fishing. Yeah. But my podcast network has no fishing on it whatsoever. Because we all want to detox. I mean, when you're around it, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand why people take their job home. I don't take mine home, but even though I do it more than I should, but because I'm a photographer at work and I'm a photographer on the side.
Sure.
Like, because I've had a camera forever, but we all want to separate the two.
Oh yeah, you got to.
But shows are great, man. Guys, if you've never been to an expo, I don't care how big it is. And I'll tell you this right now. I fussed at someone about this. And like I said, I'm good at promoting. I'm good at helping people make their brands. And if you really want to be recognized and you really want to get sponsors, you need to show up at shows. You need to show up at special events. I've got a neighbor, I gave him so much crap. There's a parade across the street. His boat's wrapped. It's got sponsors on it. He told me they didn't pay him enough to show up and it's free. Let's just say this man ain't fishing the high ranking level anymore, but that's beside the point. But, guys, get your face out there. Like you were saying, social media, get your face out there as much as possible. And even if you're doing quick little 30-second tips, reels, I had a meeting with Instagram last night. So, I mean, just do a lot of stuff of that nature and get your face out there to everyone. You're your own brand ambassador. And you can either screw it up or make it worth millions of dollars.
Yeah,
because we know we know a guy that's never won a Bassmaster Classic before, and
Yep.
And his name is Gerald Swindle, and I mean, he's got sponsors all up and down one side of his arm, but he knows how to talk to people, work with people, and they will come to you if you put out the right product. They will come to you.
Absolutely.
You don't
That's
have
great.
to go. You don't have to go get them. They'll come to you. And I don't reach out to these people. I got 2 bags in there right now in my closet that are valued at over $200 a piece. That I was like, hey, we want to send you 2 bags. We love what you're doing. I got a company that reached out to me the other day. They're sending me some flask that you put like alcohol in the top and you're drinking the bottom. I don't know these people. We like you. We're sending it to you. 2 walkie-talkies came early in the year. I don't know these people. Like, I don't have no need for this. Hey, these weren't cheap, guys. We're talking about hundreds of dollars walkie-talkies. And if you start off like that, putting a good brand together, you'll slowly move up as you learn. Then money will start coming because they know that you can promote. They know you can work with other people, and then the dollar bills show up. So if you start begging, if you'll know, hey, that's that guy that begs.
Yep.
Sorry, you just better work you a good summer job and fish all. So I mean, go cut Christmas trees during the winter and fish during the summer.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's a good point. I talked to Jimmy Houston a long time. I think at the FLW Cup, I think in South Carolina. I got there early.
Yeah.
So he talked to me for 30 minutes, just like we'd known each other. And that's the first thing he said, if you really want to get in this business, go to every Bassmaster Expo, or, he said the exact same thing you did. Get your face out there, and they'll say, "Hey, I recognize a guy from last year or year before." They'll recognize you if you're out there.
And you don't have to. I mean, introduce yourself, but you don't have to. Like you just said, you don't have to. Don't promote yourself. Just get out there, walk around, be yourself, shake hands, talk to people, and have a good rapport with people. If it's somebody there, talk to them, because everybody's listening to you, just like we talked about on social media.
Yep.
And these people are listening. You might not think they're listening, but they're listening. And when you show up, my business did not take off until I went to my first Bassmaster Classic, because I made a commitment. No, don't half-ass it. I made a commitment. I went to my first Classic. And people said, hey, this ain't no little business. This guy runs out of his basement on a mag boat. He's really, and since then it's been, 5 or 6, 7 Bassmaster Classics. But I mean, you can promote yourself without saying much.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
And people are watching.
All the time. You don't
all
know
the time.
And it's not just like Rob, like I tell people, it's not just our interview. They're going to watch it days, months, weeks, years after. Who knows?
Yeah.
So something might bite you that you said 2 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, and that's true. I mean, because a lot of people that I know and become friends with have been, and even relationships in my sponsors. I can tell you this straight up. First year I pay for everything. After that, I've never had to pay for a dime. Thank goodness for that.
Sweet.
But a lot of people have been through. I had a guy send me some baits the other day. He said, I love what you're doing. Here, send them, give them away. I had a medical company. I don't know these people from nothing. He knows me through fishing. And he's sent me a few grand since then. But you got to put in that time, because sorry, we're in a small big business, and you're gonna have to put in the time. If you're not willing to dedicate at least 5 years, which is any independent business, then you might as well just say I'm done and walk out, because you're not gonna have anything. It's gonna take 5 years at least, unless you're like already famous and you got a hot chick. I mean, sorry, you got a pretty face. Yep. I'm ugly, so I had to work harder.
Truth.
Rob, are you ready to do this when you're 70?
Sure. Let's roll.
Heck yeah.
It's going to take us a lot longer.
Yeah.
Well,
I just turned 56, so let's roll, man.
I turned 51 this year, so.
Congratulations.
But like you were saying, though, earlier, John, the cool thing about podcast people, and I'm the same way on this, and I've noticed this through my numbers, that if you put out a good show, you got good guests, You got great questions. If someone watches one show and they like it, they'll go back and watch old shows. They really will. It's a medium not like any other out there, because they know they're going to learn something or they're going to be a part of something. And people don't like not being a part of something. If it's a limited group, or we all want to be a part and learn something. So I mean, I found a podcast show 2 weeks ago. I went back and watched his last 3 months worth of podcast already.
Yep.
Just because he's a great speaker, he's a great talker, and I like his message. So that's the cool thing about podcasts. Keep it up.
It is.
Absolutely.
Keep hammering.
And keep it fresh and consistent.
That's it. Even if you have to miss an episode for a holiday, upload an old episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we're doing recordings. Is we decided to do recordings in case we decided, well, we're not good for this tonight. How about we just throw one up?
Yep.
Yeah.
At least got something.
Yeah.
That's true. And it's new. So I mean,
yep.
But yeah, that's the whole, and just like what I was talking about with sponsors or anything. I mean, guys, really is anything. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
It's like posting. I had a meeting yesterday with Instagram, and we were talking about the new things coming out with Instagram and being a part of Instagram. And that's the key, is just posting content and finding out what content works best for you and your listeners and your market and what you want to be a part of, and learning the best time that you want to. For us, it's finding the best time to upload our podcast for our listeners. And it's all a strategy game, but once you get it down pat, then you just play the game.
Absolutely.
You hope the Andy wins. So
yeah. All right, here's a tough question for you.
Uh-oh.
If you could, and you can't use, say, Rob or John, if you could fish with anybody in the world, who would you fish with?
Oh God. Wow.
Sorry, Rob, I took us out of the equation.
That's good.
Holy cow.
So it made it harder.
Yeah, a whole lot harder. I'll be honest. That is tough.
Yeah.
I know so many anglers, and I get invited so many freaking times, and I turn people down because I am extremely busy. But Alton Jones Sr.
Yep.
I really do. I've got to meet Alton many times. I got to spend a lot of time with him and his son. And just the way, just his, his, I guess you say his ease. Mm-hmm. I've seen him get worked up a little bit, but he's, his way he handles things.
Yeah.
And he's just a consistently good angler, and I consider him a great teacher. So that's, I can't get on a boat someone's strung out, and I've gotten in many boats as a co-angler like that. Yes. Who are like, if I don't catch 5, I'm gonna crash this boat. And I'm like, golly, it's like,
or kick their tackle box in the water, break rods. It's
yes. So I would say Alton Jones Sr. I really do like Alton Jones. Amazing
good choice. I like it.
Yeah. I've mentioned on our show, I didn't mention the person's name because it's not fair. He missed like 3 fish in a row, and then he was banging his rod in the water like he was sword fighting Zorro. And I'm just sitting on the back deck laughing, And,
just stay out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot when money gets put on the line, guys. And when the money increases, what happens? I mean, I had Brian Post on last week on Basscast Radio, and Brian's one of the coolest guys in the world. And he's up from your way, up north.
Who's that again? I'm sorry.
Brian Post, B-Post Fishing.
Okay.
Yep.
And, he said straight up, I said, he just likes to go new places and learn new things. I mean, it's an investment. He has a full-time job. He's a contractor. And he's blessed to be able to travel the world and fish. And if he wins, he wins. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. And, that's the ones you need to get in a boat with if you want to learn something. But I would say Alton Jones, and I'm a real fanboy of Brandon Palaniuk.
Yep.
I don't know why. I just like Brandon. I like his, and that's another one. the attitude. You never see Brandon like flip. You never, because he's got the camera on 24/7 because the show. But I mean, I know they edit. Everybody edits. But I mean, I'm a real Brandon Palaniuk and Alton Jones, probably two guys I'd love to be in a boat with. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, Brandon is great. I got to marshal for him up here for an open.
Ooh.
And on Oneida Lake.
Yeah,
and,
Brandon.
Yeah,
great family.
It wasn't long after they got married, and I said to introduce myself, and I said, "Do you want me to talk to you? Do you want me to stay quiet? Do you mind if I ask you questions?" He goes, "Whatever you want to do, go ahead. Just if I'm battling a fish, just please move out of the way." I'm like, "Hey, no problem."
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and he thanked me later on, asking him, because a lot of people just assume, and they'll ask him questions while he's fighting the fish.
Wow. Yeah, he'd probably end up over the boat. Be the last time he'd marshal.
Probably.
I just I got a $5,000 entry fee on the line plus $100,000 in winnings.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sponsors watching.
And sponsors watching. Yeah, he would be gone.
I had a let's just say, I won't mention any names. I had a FLW guy on Cumberland. I fished as a co-angler last day on as a marshal, and Bill Taylor, it was over FLW director. When he paired me this guy, he says, "Rob, you got so and so, and I'm sorry." Literally, that's what he told me. But it wasn't bad. It was a good day.
Wow.
When he said that, I'm like, "Uh-oh, what I get myself into?" But it's a good day.
Yeah, I mean, even as someone in the media who has full access to everybody, because that's what they want.
Yeah,
you still know who you can talk to, who you can't talk to. I mean, who's willing to talk, who's not willing to talk, and just the attitude comes about it. Getting back to that whole thing about, wearing your cell phone on your sleeve. I mean, being a part of your social media, everything else. I mean, if that's how people view, and people ask me all the time, how's this angler? How's that angler? And I don't want to lie to these people. Okay, they're kind of nice.
Till you get on the boat with them, then you get the real deal.
Yeah, then you get the real deal, and you see them breaking rods.
Yep.
I've seen that happen too many times.
We got one around here. He's a hothead. I ain't mention his name either. But...
Yeah.
What
I hit? Oh. I hit the wrong button at first. All right. I do have a tough question for you, Brian. All of our questions have been around podcasting and fishing so far. What is your favorite homemade cookie?
That has to be a snickerdoodle.
Dang.
John's favorite. John's favorite.
I love snickerdoodles. Holy cow. They're the best.
So I think 2 in a row. Wow.
Snickerdoodles are amazing. They really are.
Really? I don't like them.
I love snickerdoodles. Holy cow.
All right. Very good.
It's either that or what is it? Raisin? Cinnamon
oatmeal
cookies?
raisin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oatmeal raisin. That's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, snickerdoodles are awesome. Why you shake your head, John? Come on, man. Why you shake your head? That's awesome.
He don't like them, I don't think.
Oh, he don't like them?
He don't like them.
Snickerdoodles in Lake Gunnersville.
Ooh. Don't get him started on that. Don't get him started on that.
So I don't want to say my mom was a good cook, but she was a hell of a baker, and we're talking about lots of daggone baked goods around the holidays. Holy cow! From fudge to, I mean, we had fudge that killed a dog one year to fudge. I mean,
wow.
Like he got it off the table. I mean, come on, guys, dogs and fudge
okay.
aren't too good. It wasn't our fault, but I mean, mom loved, and we love snickerdoodles, and she'd make a crap load of them for us, so it's always cool.
Yeah, my wife's a baker. We actually had a podcast a couple of years ago. Well, probably 4 years ago now. And that's the one question she would ask for was, what's your favorite homemade cookie?
That is awesome. Yeah, so tell her to send me some. I'll eat them. Don't worry about that.
There you go.
I'll be down on the Potomac this year for the Toyota
Toyota.
Series. Yeah, might have to bring you some.
Sweet.
There you go.
Potomac ain't too far. It's about 3 hours from my house.
That's not bad.
All right.
Nah, just crossing this stupid bridge. The only thing that sucks. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been working on that bridge for like how many years now?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's been a while. Plus that one, the last time I was up there, I think I spent an extra 30 minutes on the bridge. So,
Jeez.
yeah, crossing over the Potomac. But yeah, it's a great place, and
it is.
I think another one of my friends, he's going to be fishing that event as well next year. So,
Cool.
Okay.
it's going to be a jam-packed schedule in 2025. I learned out last week that my title sponsor has decided to branch out in 2025, and they're going to be doing a lot of tournaments in Carolina. They own a lot of local dealerships. Angler's Choice Marine, that's one of our title sponsors.
Yep.
And they're going down a lot in North Carolina. 2-day events, guaranteed $10,000 to the winner, but they're all 2 days.
Wow.
Missile Baits is one of our sponsors, been with us for a while. Ultra Health is a new one that we got this year. I want to thank Ultra Health. They own about 4 or 5 different. I don't know if you guys remember the Meta Choices, the little box places you could go to back in the day if you scuffed your finger and you didn't want to go sit at the hospital 4 hours. They own 4 of those around here, and they're pretty freaking awesome. So thank you to Ultra Health for being a sponsor. And we got one tackle store, SML Tackle Shack, right here on Smith Mountain Lake. They do a great job. Keith is the owner of that great store. He's got jam-packed. And for all you guys out there, you guys know I am a huge Buy Local fan. And today's Saturday, we're recording, and it's Buy Local Saturday. And it's a great time to support your local tackle store. I say this, guys, you don't think about them until they're gone.
Yeah.
And you got and you're fishing a big bass tour event where you can take home brand new nitro, but you're out of that crankbait. It's your favorite crankbait, and you lost it fishing, and dang, that local tackle store disappeared. And guess what? That boat disappeared as well, because that local tackle store usually carries everything that that they know is going to catch big bass wherever they're located throughout the United States. So I'm a big supporter of Buying Local. So that's our sponsor. But thank you to them for sponsoring, and appreciate all that they do to promote bass fishing. And that's what they're really doing. They're promoting bass fishing.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And they sponsor the Basscast.
Yep. And all the little local shops they'll open up early for a tournament. They'll stay open late. You won't see a box store do that. So hats off to them.
That is right. And let them give away free coffee.
Yeah,
and if it gets big enough, they're giving away free donuts or something. And like you said, Rob, that's the cool thing about that. Like when the Big Bass Tour comes here, we were blessed enough for the Big Bass Tour. We were the first lake, Smith Mountain, where they had two events in the same year, a fall and a spring. And then, they've continued a little bit more, and they did it this year as well. But, when there are big events, your local tackle store is going to open up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That way, if you forgot something or you need some line, whatever. Yep. They're going to have it. They're going to open. I don't really see any of you guys calling Bass Pro Shop, and Johnny's saying, yeah, I'll open up for you. Yeah.
Not happening.
As much as we love to go to Bass Pro Shop, that's not going to happen.
Yep.
No. And another topic on that is they're going to have what works in that area.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I used to work at a tackle shop up here, and we always had stuff for Cayuga Lake, Oneida Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bass Pro Shop came in. And, of course, we're looking at all this stuff that's come in. I'm like, we've never heard of this stuff, or what is this? And we couldn't sell it, because none of the guys around here use it.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't send it back. But
that's like you guys were saying, that's the really cool thing. We with my title sponsor up there, a new store did pop up this year from North Carolina. It's a big chain, not a big chain, but a pretty big store. But a lot of guys are splitting up their money between the two stores. Yep. But the cool thing is most of them are still buying local, because that will keep it going. On top of that, but like you guys said, it would, local tackle store, the guys come in there, they hang out, they talk. It's the new bar for fishermen. I mean, it just ain't no beer.
Or barbershop, or like the old barbershop, yeah.
Yep.
Or the barbershop, yeah, old school barbershop where they used to go in there and half of them were sitting there not even worried about getting a haircut. They just saw everybody came in.
Yep.
And, they're hanging around and, hey, what's the fish biting on? What's happening? What's the hot lure right now? How deep are the fish? All the crazy questions we ask. And, so the more of them you have in there, the more you're going to sell, because he's going to say, hey, I caught on a ribbon tail. I was dragging a big purple worm across some rocks. And next thing you know, this young kid or medium age kid, whatever, a guy, it's a girl who's new into fishing said, oh, well, if he's catching fish on a purple worm, I'm going over there to that rack and get that purple worm.
Yes.
And that's how it all happens. And, it keeps going and keeps people interested in bass fishing and keeps the whole sport alive.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yep, I agree. Well, we're sorry for keeping you late.
Dude, we can talk for hours. It don't bother me none. I got plenty of water, so we are good.
There you go, man. You're good to go.
I'm hydrated. Guys, I appreciate you having me on. I really do. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for reaching out. Thebasscast.com, that's our main website. If you guys want to, we have lake reports, tournament results from Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. That's our 3 main states that we cover. There's another tournament site that goes further, and we've left that to them. And Basscast Radio, guys, if anywhere you want to listen to podcasts or watch us, if you really want to watch us, you can hit the YouTube button. We'd love to have you there on YouTube as well. But we're on all the podcasting networks. Basscast Radio, we drop a new episode every Monday morning. There's been another blessing for me. I've always wanted to create a podcast network, and that kind of happened this year. We added Before the First Cast with Calvin Herndon, and it's a show that drops every Friday morning. It's just a little 15-minute to 30-minute show where he interviews or he just drops a tip or a technique and before you go to the water, and that drops Friday mornings at 5 a.m. as well, and you can watch it on Basscast Radio as well. Same network, watch there. And On the Line is our newsletter, and we do an issue twice a month. It's the issue goes out the 1st and the 15th of every month, and we've got 3 amazing writers, and I'm the organizer of it all. I just make sure it all gets put together, and we got some great content from. We got a college angler writes for us, Bruce writes for us, and we got another writer. Oh, another writer writes for us. So I mean, it's 3 different people write, and we do giveaways. I'm blessed to be a part of While We're America. We give away free jerseys every month on our website. I'm just telling you guys this. Like I said at the beginning, don't open your mouth. Host a good product. Run a good tournament series. Whatever you do, make sure it's done right.
Yep.
The sponsors and the people will come. And that's what's going to happen here. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't begged. I haven't pleaded. I just did what I need to do. Went to the expos, went to the events, made an appearance, and they will call you. If they see something in you that they like, they will reach out to you. And that's going to be my only advice to anybody here is don't be acting stupid. Just act yourself, have a good time, and if they see something they like, they'll reach out to you, and you'll have a bunch of sponsors.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
That's the whole way to get a sponsor. Period.
All right, Brian. Well,
that's it.
That's it.
It's simple.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Dude,
we'll let you go. And you take care. If I don't see you, talk to you, whatever, have a good holiday season.
Yes, sir. You as well. You guys both.
And,
thank you.
Don't work too hard.
I don't know what that word is. I grew up with a grandmother who worked 364 out of 365 days a year, and I was her protege. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow.
So there is no such thing as working too hard.
There's no such thing.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, sir. Well, hey, you take care.
Yes, sir.
God bless, and
thank you.
Be safe.
Thank you.
And happy holidays to you and yours, man. I'll be tuning in, checking you guys out.
All righty, sir.
All right.
What a
Great.
great guy.
Oh man, great. He covered everything, man. That's outstanding.
Yep. Yes, it is. All right. So our first recorded show ever went well.
Yeah. I think it
Didn't
did.
have any arguing, fighting.
No. No broken rods, no kick tackle boxes, so we're good.
Oh, yeah. All right, buddy. We'll see you in a bit.
All right. Peace out,
All right.
guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.